transformation. So Boutique Agency Network is our advertising company where we have predominantly it's into data-driven marketing practices, and then Boutique Republic is our the tech company which is predominantly focusing on providing solutions for problem-solving matters, and then Boutique Media Network is a entertainment ecosystem that we are trying to develop new technologies or other new entertainment assets to the market. So getting into the law of attraction in the future careers. So since I'm coming from the ad industry, predominantly what matters here is the headline. So when you say the law of attraction, so there is a bigger topic called law of attraction which everyone really gets inspired into. So I see I'm not going to talk about that law of attraction. Instead I'm going to talk about what would be the law of attraction that is going to work in the future careers. So now imagine in 30 years, which is in 2055. So how do you see yourself in 2055? Das panas pahavena kota කවුරු හැටියටද හිතන්නේ මොනවාද කරනව ඇත්තේ 2055 අද වගේ දවසක මේ වෙලාවේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ මොනවාද කරන්නේ Any thoughts? Anyone? What do you think? මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? තව අවුරුදු 30කින් You there? You okay? Good. What else? Okay, I think I will give you space to think. But basically, the concept of the law of attraction, what it says is energy flows where the attention goes. So that's the concept of law of attraction. In simple terms, what it means is positive thoughts may bring positive results. කොහොමද අපි හිතන දේ manifest කරන දේ තමයි අපි දැනගෙන ගෙනියන්නේ. So that's the key to this whole law of attraction. So I'm not going to talk about that, but instead when you're looking at the jobs currently, before COVID, the world was looking at the world in a very different way. So I don't know if it's visible, but like basically what this, if you see these graphs, the bar charts, what you see here is that in 2017 McKinsey did a study and they identified in different markets, in different countries where there is a growth for all of these sectors. This is in 2017. So for instance, creative careers in countries like China, in India there was even India, but Japan, they said okay, they are expecting a degrowth. And countries like USA, for such things like technology professionals, there will be a higher demand, and teachers, there will be a significant demand. Even the customer interaction, even India said there is a sizable growth will happen. But what happens after COVID? COVID වලට පස්සේ අපි මම අහලා තියෙන තැනකදීත් කිව්වා like in organizations the biggest problem, one of the biggest topic what before COVID what people were talking about is digital transformation. How do we transform digitally? How to do digitization? ඉතින් මේ topics ගොඩක් කතා කර හිටියා ඒ කාලේ. හැබැයි මම දැක්කා meme එකක් තිබ්බා මේ COVID වලට පස්සේ who did digital transformation in our company? It's COVID-19. ඊට පස්සේ තමයි අපි හැමෝම මේ අද කතා කරන විදිහට දැන් the pre-seminars were on Zoom, and you know like how this technology adaptation, this transformation happened. So this all happened with COVID because there was a requirement to transform. And so after that, so this is based on again one of the findings I got from World Economic Forum. So according to World Economic Forum, they have identified, they have done a little research. So what you see here is that LinkedIn එකේ 2018 ඉඳලා 2022 වෙනකන්, like within that particular period, the growing job types, what people like, let's say LinkedIn is one of the biggest places for the job market in today's context. So what we see here is that top 20 type of jobs, out of all of that, මුලින්ම තියෙන්නේ sales growth and customer engagement related jobs. But the second one is actually human resource and talent acquisition. Now we are being in corporates, we are being in also working in certain companies. We have seen this is true, because one of the biggest problems is not acquiring certain talents, but finding people, dedicated HR, dedicated talent acquisition people in organizations, so that they can find out, they'll be able to pick the candidates. That is the biggest problem. මොකද දැන් වෙනකොට තියෙන ලොකුම ඉෂුව එක තමයි talents තියෙනවා market එකේ ඕන තරම් job opportunities උත් තියෙනවා. ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ හරි job එකට හරි මිනිස්සයා ගන්නවයි කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි organisation එකකට තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ. සමහරක් වෙලාවට ඉස්සර වගේ නෙමෙයි, දැන් අර supply demand ගත්තාම ලොකු supply එකකුත් තියෙනවා, ලොකු demand එකකුත් තියෙනවා. එතකොට හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ සමහරක් තැන්වලදී හරි candidate ව identify කරගන්න බැරි වෙන එක. And so moving forward, fastest growing jobs what they have identified was talent acquisition was the fastest growing job. So if you take big global companies, large multinationals, they are keep on acquiring talent acquisition people. The reason is, I mean, there is a job opportunity, of course. The reason is that is not their core job. Like for instance, if it is a management consultation company, their main product is to do management consultation. So they need to hire a lot of talents, like they need analysts, the business analysts, finance people, likewise they need to absorb a lot of people. But in order for them to do that, they need to hire talent acquisition staff to do the hard work, to figure out who are the right candidates that we can hire. So this is what we've seen, and then we see other jobs like, you know, sustainability analyst, sales, I can see that. So sales development representatives likewise. So certain jobs are absolutely were not there a couple of years back. So okay. So then, so I'm not going to explain you through these graphs. Maybe it's little too small, but what we can see here is that again, this World Economic Forum, when they were doing their analysis, they identified one of the top macro trend in the market is that the transformation and adaptation towards technology. So that they have identified as one of the big priority across the world for most of the organizations. And with those technology adaptation, what will happen to the job market? Whether people are going to lose their job or whether there are new opportunities going to get created. So if I ask this question without anything, AI හින්දා අනාගතේ jobs නැති වෙනවයි කියලා හිතන කට්ටිය කවුද? job වැඩි වෙනවයි කියලා හිතන්නේ? ඒ දෙකම හිතන්න දෙයක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ නේද? No change. So according to the survey that they have asked this question from various different corporates, the leaders, business leaders. So what they're saying is that, so especially they have seen a trend where so even investments to facilitate green transition of your business, likewise, for all of these things මේ කොළ පාටට පේන්නේ වල නිල් පාටට පේන්නේ ඔක්කොම අලුතෙන් grow වෙන දේවල්. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ identify කරගෙන තියෙනවා එහෙම අඩු වෙනවා නම් දෙයක් හැටියට අඩු වෙන්නේ the impact is lower global economic growth. Because of that, there will be a problem. Global economic growth එක වගේ දේවල් තමයි ඇත්තටම මේ job market එකට ප්‍රධානම බලපාන්නේ. හැබැයි උදාහරණයක් හැටියට let's say broadening digital access එහෙම කියන ලොකුවට වෙන බලපෑම අඩුයි. සාපේක්ෂව what they are saying is the impact is much smaller. So so with all of that, what they are saying is the digital adaptation will happen in these areas, predominantly digital platforms and apps. Organizations very poor digital apps, digital platforms වගේ දේවල් ගන්න එක දැන්ටත් අපි දකිනවා මේ ට්‍රෙන්ඩ් එක යනවා. Then education and certain things related to education related technologies. So likewise, number 3 is big data analytics. So මේ වගේ areas වලට තමයි interest එක වැඩි වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි ඒකත් එක්කම like what they are saying is that because of these areas, like because of big data analytics, they are trying to understand what sort of whether it is creating a positive impact on the organizations in terms of absorbing new talents, or is it going to minimize the people. So what they are saying is things like big data analytics is creating new jobs. Things like climate change mitigation technology, it is creating new jobs. දැන් මෙච්චර කාලයක් අපි මේ climate change mitigation technologies ගැන කතා කරේ නැහැ. දැන් ඒවට අලුතෙන් requirements job market එකක් හැදෙනවා. Even biotechnology is creating new jobs. Power storage and generation, that's also creating new jobs, while certain jobs are going to get cut down. So likewise, even what they're saying is that robots, non-humanoid type of things, they are cutting off people, because of course the reason is creating these robotic certain things is predominantly to reduce certain staff. So those things will of course going to create an impact. So it's a famous thing what we saw during COVID, or rather after COVID, when ChatGPT came to the picture. It says that, hey ChatGPT, finish this building. Your skills are irreplaceable. So, but the problem is whether it can do everything. It can't. So, with that, the last part, what I want to tell you is what attracts. So, according to World Economic Forum, they have identified these 10 skills which are important, which were important last year. So, starting with analytical thinking, creative thinking, resilience, flexibility, agility, motivation. So likewise, හැබැයි ඊළඟ අවුරුදු ගානට the top 10 skills on the rise, ඒකේ මුලින්ම වෙලා තියෙන creative thinking. So මේක හරි වැදගත් කතාවක්. ඕන කම්පැනි එකක දැන් වෙනකොට job interview එකකදී අපි try කරන්නේ ආගේ ස්කිල් එක නෙමෙයි. මොකද ඒ ස්කිල් එක පුළුවන් ද බැරිද කියන එකට පොඩි ටෙස්ට් එකක් දුන්නාම හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඒ මනුස්සයා කොච්චර දුරට හිතන්න පුළුවන්ද කියන එක. So that is a skill that someone can really cheat on. That has to come from their heart. So likewise, creative thinking, analytical thinking, technology literacy. So may they උදාහරණයක් හැටියට so one of the technique that even I recently used was so when we were hiring, so in advertising, when we were hiring couple of people for client management, brand management services. So one of the things that they have to do always is that they have to keep on creating presentations, all these things. So I asked them, a couple of people, like we gave them a small brief, මේකයි brand එක, මේකයි මේකේ කතන්දරේ, මට මේකට ටක් ගාලා ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකක් හදලා දෙන්න. ඉතින් සමහරක් අය මගේ මූල දිහා බලන් ඉන්නවා. කවද වෙනකම් මේක දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඉතින් සමහරක් කට්ටියගෙන් යෝග අහපු ගම එක්කෙනෙක්, I mean this is for an internship program actually. So one person, what he did was කියලා ෆෝන් එක බැලුවා and then presentation එක හදලා පෙන්නන්න ඕනද කියලා. කොහොමද හදන්න ඕන slides වල තියෙන ටික කියන්නේ. Slides 10 කියන්නේ. So he did that on ChatGPT. So that is being technology literacy. So if you have the technology, if you know how to use the technology, you will be able to run with it. So එතකොට ඇත්තටම අපිට අවශ්‍ය වන්නේ අනාගතයේදී there are three things. So the first one is the way how you think. So that's the most important thing. It's related with thinking. කොහොමද මිනිස්සු හිතන්නේ කියන එක. කොච්චර ටෙක්නොලොජි ආවත් දැන් අපි අවුරුදු 3කට 4කට කලින් chat GPT එක ගැන ලොකුවට දැනන් හිටියේ නැහැ. ජෙනරේටිව් AI ගැන අපි ලොකු ටොපික් එකක් හැටියට කතා කරේ නැහැ. ලංකාවේ හෝ ලෝකයේ මේ මේන්ස්ට්‍රීම් එක හැටියට ගත්තාම පබ්ලික් එකේ. හැබැයි අද වෙනකොට අපි ඒව ගැන කතා කරනවා. මේ ටෙක්නොලොජි එක හෙට අනිද්දා වෙනකොට තව වෙන එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්. ටෙක්නොලොජි හැමදාම අලුත් වෙවි යනවා. හැබැයි the way how people think, their mind, that is most important. That's going to be the most important thing. The second thing is the feel. It's called the affection, the emotions, the power of emotions. So how do you really deal with people? How do you understand a problem? මිනිස්සුන්ව තේරුම් ගන්නේ කොහොමද? ප්‍රශ්නේ තේරුම් ගන්නේ කොහොමද? අයි මේක මෙහෙම වෙන්නේ කියලා තේරුම් ගන්නේ කොහොමද? That's the most important thing. කෝඩ් එක ලියන එකේ නෙමෙයි වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ ටෙක්නොලොජි එකේ. මේ කෝඩ් එක මෙහෙම ලියන්න ලිව්වහම මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? මේකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ මේක නම් මම කොහොමද මේක කරන්නේ? So that thinking and then your affection is more towards your emotions. And then the final thing is the behavior. How you do things, how you behave. It's not like positive behavior කියන අර නිකම් proper behavior එක නෙමෙයි, like how do you really work on something? What is your style of handling something? So මේ දේවල් තමයි are going to be more important because all of these things are a part of your brain and your mind. So these things are how people were built up with these things. So it's basically something to do with the brain. And therefore this think, feel, do, a combination of that is what is more important in the future, because now, for instance, the future job market, if you take a look, most of the senior managers who is going to interview most of these people are going to be from the millennial generation and the generations afterward. So therefore what they look at is more than the technical skills. The technical skills anyway it's required. If you don't have the technical skills, you won't be able to do the job. But more than that, there's one thing what we always look at is a combination of this think, feel and do. It's called the vibe. අපි අපේ language එකෙන් අපි කියන්නේ අපි අහනවානේ මෙයාගේ vibe එක අපිට set වෙනවද? ඕක තමයි අහන පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඉන්ටර්විව් එකට ඇවිල්ලා කවුරුහරි ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්ටර්විව් කරගත්තේ කොහොමද මනුස්සයා අපිට set වෙනවද? vibe එක කොහොමද? එයාට අරක පුළුවන්ද මේක පුළුවන්ද කියන එක අහන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඒ ටික බැරි නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම එයා ඉන්ටර්විව් එකට select වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So no matter how good you are with your technical skills, if the vibe doesn't sense, it doesn't make sense. So even in the past, even in the present, even in the future, the biggest pillar of the attraction is the vibe. Sometimes there could be some people, they come and genuinely tell, I have experienced that. They said, okay, I don't know how to do this. I mean, I don't know this software, but I'll be able to learn. But even without this, I'll be able to do it in my way, if you're okay with it. So that is the attitude. So that actually works very well. So therefore, the last part is how do you prepare yourself. So there's a small context into it. So this has been used even in our advertising careers. We've been using this method even for brands. So it's called, the first part is to understand what is your passion. So your passion is අපි මොනවාද කරන්න කැමති ජීවිතේ. ඒ අපේ passion එක. ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි දේ. What excites us. So ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි කාරණාව. දෙවෙනි එක තමයි what you are good at. So සමහරක් වෙලාවට අපි චිත්‍ර අඳින්න ආසයි. චිත්‍ර අඳින එක තමයි අපි, that's our pastime. හැබැයි I'm good at something else. I might be good at I don't know, science, chemistry or something. So that's what my area. හැබැයි බාහිර ආසයි මෙන්න මේ වැඩේට. මේක තමයි මගේ passion එක. මට මගේ past time නැත්නම් මට free වෙලාවක් තිබුණොත් මම කරන්නේ මෙන්න මේක. තුන්වෙනි එක තමයි to understand what the world needs. උදාහරණයක් ඇටියට අපි art කරන්න ආසයි. එතකොට I do painting, but what exactly the world needs. So we need to understand the combination of these three things in a way. So basically we call that as the purpose. So මේ තුනේ එකතුව තමයි අපේ passion එකයි අපි මොනකටද හොඳ කියන එක සහ what the world needs. මේ තුනම එකතු වෙන තැන එක point එකක් අපිට identify කරගන්න පුළුවන් නම් that is where you can really win or you will be really happy when you are in that position. Because if you are in a position like here, you are good at something and that is also your passion, but that's not what the world wants. Later, there is another sort of a addition, and it was done in Japan or rather in Japanese, I don't know whether it's the literature or wherever, but they call this as ikigai, where they had something else, which is they had no matter whatever is what you are good at, what your passion or what the world needs, but how are you going to get paid? Because at the end, that's what matters. That's how you live. So basically, they say the purpose comes with a combination of your passion, what you are good at, what the world needs, and then what can you get paid. So from a context point of view, now for instance, I'll give you a small example. If you are passionate about pure music, it's not just music, like there are people who are really passionate about doing like real music, that's their passion. But the person is good at advanced mathematics, and that's the area. Let's imagine someone who's studying something related to mathematics, engineering or whatever. And the world needs, they are identified, the world needs great entertainment. Look at only the entertainment sound there. So how we are going to get paid is the last part. So basically, if you stay here, you do something that you are good at, that is your mathematics, and then combining your passion, you can create experimentation music for fun. But no one is going to give you money. You can still do that. But if not, you can come to this place where you can also get paid. You do music experimentation as a service and you sell it. So then people will come to you to get that thing done. But එතනදී එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙනවා. ආස කරන්නේ to do pure music, you can do that, but that also connects with your what you are good at, but that's not what exactly the world needs. So you will get projects, it's like you are doing freelancing, you get projects, you do something which you love, but that's also fine, there's no problem with it, but there could be a bigger world. And then if not, you do something that you have your passion, but you keep the passion away or aside, and then you focus on what you are good at and what you can get paid. So you go and join a tech company once you complete your degree. So you find a job that suits for your degree. ඒකනේ ගොඩක් අය වල වෙන්නේ. ගොඩක් අයගේ frustration එක තියෙන්නේ degree එක ඉවරනාට පස්සේ ඒකට relevant field එකක අපි job එකකට යනවා. හැබැයි ඊට පස්සේ අපේ ඇත්තටම තිබිච්ච passions ඒවා අපිට focus කරන්න බැහැයි කියලා අවුරුදු ගාණක් ගියාට පස්සේ ලොකු frustration එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ frustrations එක එන්නේ ඇත්තටම අපි මේ වගේ ඒක structural විදියට ඒ දේ ගැන හිතන්නේ නැති හින්දා. And also there's another thing, you do something that you get paid, also it connects with your it doesn't connect with your passion, but it connects with your talent, the skill that you are good at, but that's also what the world needs. So for instance, that you work as a music researcher for a music company. Let's say මම දන්නේ ලංකාවේ companies දිනවද කියලා, but hypothetically අපි හිතමු Sony music හරි වගේ album එකක you work as a researcher. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඒ research නැත්නම් Spotify එකේ researcher කෙනෙක් හැටියට වැඩ කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලන් ගොඩක් research කරනවානේ. Spotify එකේ researcher කෙනෙක් හැටියට වැඩ කරාට ඔයාට අර pure music ගැන දෙයක් කරන්න බෑ. You are not getting paid with that, but you are a researcher, you are working for Spotify, and the world needs more great music, so Spotify's role is to connect people with music using data and technology. ඒවැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. And then you will be also happy to an extent. ඊළඟ එක තමයි you get paid, and let's say now you have a degree something to do with mathematical related area, but you really want to get into music, so you get a job at Sony Music, you join them, but the job is maybe something to do with sales, nothing to do with music. But you still want to get the job, you can go there, but you will also not be happy. So on the other end, you will not get paid that you can compose good music, good songs at your own cost. That's also possible, but you are not going to get paid. On the other end, but if you are smart enough, you will be able to do music and then use platforms and still get monetized. People does that. So මේ විදිහට එහෙම නැත්නම් කෙලින්ම අපි experimental songs හදන එකත් කරන්න පුළුවන්. That is a combination of your music, what you are good at, but that you are not going to get paid. Therefore, but what if you think of a combination of all three and becoming a music entrepreneur? You create a company that you are good at math, you love music, you know world needs music, like the ones that who created Spotify. They became one of the billionaires in the world. So this is the way how you can change or rather transform from a regular person to an extraordinary person. So that, to do all of that, there are three things that you need to focus in your life. Is basically focus on your passion, but also use your skill in a way that you can get paid for it. Sometimes you don't have to look into what the world needs, but if you look into that, then you could become a great personality. So that's it from my end. Yes, that's it. And if you have any questions, you can ask. So that's basically the law of attraction in the future careers. Thank you.